If you are hearing these words, know this. It is not a chance occurrence, but a call, a deep resonance that echoes within your soul. Your soul itself has awaited this moment, this message. Before we venture together into the most sacred part of our knowledge, you must make a choice that will determine your path forward. Your like is not merely a sign of approval, it is your sincere declaration of intent, confirmation that you are ready to discover something more. And your subscription is your entry into the ranks of those who tirelessly seek truth, those who are unafraid to ask difficult questions. The truth, which they so carefully conceal behind a veil of daily news, is actually simple, yet simultaneously terrifying in its essence. We live in a world where illnesses have ceased to be mere physical ailments. They have transformed into something greater, a metaphysical parasite, relentlessly draining the life force from the very core of human existence. What you have come to call cancer is but one of many symptoms of this all-encompassing global fever that has afflicted the very system of our being. And this is not simply another conspiracy theory. This is a conspiracy against your consciousness. History knows prophets whose words, like echoes from ancient times, break through the veil of oblivion, carrying within them glimmers of truth itself. Let us remember Baba Vanga, the blind seer from Bulgaria, whose predictions seemed torn from the very fabric of creation. She spoke of a future that had already stepped onto the threshold. She spoke of an illness bound in iron shackles. Many heard in these words only allegory, a metaphor for victory over affliction, the triumph of pharmaceutical giants and their chemical pills. But she spoke of a far deeper, a more fundamental battle, a battle for the very essence of our being. Let us now turn to the Tales of the Golden City, a lost manuscript discovered in forgotten catacombs beneath ancient Rome. It contains a description of the Blight of the Seven Kings, an invisible enemy that strikes living flesh, distorting it to the likeness of stone. This text, dating from the 1st century of our era, resonates remarkably with what we observe today, and not just with cancer. Professor Arthur Fisher, a forgotten researcher whose works were erased from official history, presented a hypothesis in his private report, Energy Markers of Disease, published in 1978, suggesting that many chronic illnesses, including oncology, result from energetic dissonance, a profound disruption of the harmonic vibrations inherent to the human body. He spoke of the resonant acoustics of life, which, when disturbed, breeds chaos and destruction at the most fundamental cellular level. Fisher referenced ancient texts such as the Book of Living Fires, attributed to Tibetan lamas, where, he claimed, methods for restoring this primordial harmony were described. Also discovered was a lost quatrain from the 11th century, verse 93, found among the ruins of the Alexandrian library shortly before its final destruction. When the steel cage encloses the world and the air grows heavy with lies, then from the dust a new dawn will rise, and the sickness that tears the body will fall before the strength of spirit, stronger than steel. This is not merely a metaphor, it is an instruction. It is that inexplicable, oppressive anxiety that grips you at 3 in the morning. That acute sense of alienation as you watch the faces passing by on the street. That inner feeling, as if you are suffocating in a world that feels both achingly familiar and frighteningly alien. This is not melancholy or despondency. It is your soul gasping for air, trapped within an artificially constructed reality, this very matrix. Your own body is sending desperate signals, asserting it has become an unwitting hostage to a system born of profound ignorance and all-consuming fear. The system we have come to accept as a given is, in truth, built upon a foundation of deep illusion. It drains your energy, feeds on your fears, and cultivates your disconnection. And the ailments it generates are by no means mere coincidences. They are meticulously planned destruction designed to keep you in perpetual subservience in a state of chronic stress and fear. Fear of the inevitable end, fear of physical pain, fear of all the unknown. The great Vanga foretold, cancer will be bound in iron chains. But what are these chains that bind such a formidable affliction? They are not merely medical treatments. They are our deep-seated thoughts, our firmly entrenched beliefs, our inseparable connection to the fleeting material world. It is our faith in our own powerlessness against the illness, the feeling of being a mere passive victim of relentless circumstances. This is the very crown of glass that cruelly fetters our true, unrevealed potential. And it is at this very moment that the great inversion occurs. All these terrifying monsters, wars, global crises, devastating pandemics, illnesses, are merely shadows dancing on the wall of our own cave. They are just projections artificially created to distract your attention from the true hidden enemy. The real tyrant, the one who holds you captive, looks at you from the depths of your own mirror. He is yourself, but bound by invisible yet strong chains of ignorance. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, never punishes humanity. It burns away the poison of fear that paralyzes, the poison of ignorance that blinds, and the poison of materialism that strips away true value. This sickness, which Vanga once spoke of, is not merely a physical ailment. It is a profound sickness of the soul, a darkening of consciousness. It is like the metal veins of a soulless system ruthlessly penetrating the very essence of our being. Prophets did not see just one person. They saw an entire army of awakened souls. They saw specifically you. And now you are not just a part of a great prophecy. You are its living embodiment. The key to overcoming the greatest malady that has afflicted humanity is not hidden within sterile laboratory corridors and advanced clinics. It lies deep within you, in the mysterious alchemy of your own consciousness. True healing begins with profound realization. You are not a helpless victim of circumstances, but a powerful creator of your reality. All the strength needed for change already pulsates within your very essence. So-called cancer, this illness whispered about by ancient sages and foretold by great prophets, is merely a distortion of your own energy, a dimming of your inner light. To free yourself from its chains forever, you must not expend energy battling mere echoes, the symptoms, but transform the very source of this distortion. The great Vanga mentioned iron chains. But what if these chains are not an external imposed compulsion, but internal self-imposed limitations? And what if cancer is our own unbridled aggression, our own self-directed hatred? What if overcoming this illness is, in essence, a liberation from your own destructive, self-sabotaging behavioral patterns? Change your thoughts. Change your beliefs. Change your energetic signature. Become like the wise hermit monk Kenshin, whose ancient scrolls were discovered amidst the ashes of a fire-ravaged monastery on the slopes of sacred Mount Kurama. These scrolls spoke of the incredible power of true intention, capable of literally reformatting reality itself. His daily practice involved this: see not illness, but health, not weakness, but strength, not death, but eternal life. The principle of fractal patterns manifesting in global geopolitical events applies with no less accuracy to your own health. Illness, in essence, is merely an external manifestation of a deep-seated imbalance hidden on subtler levels of being. That very collapse of quantum probability, as physicists term it, occurs precisely when your consciousness becomes stuck, stubbornly concentrating on negative scenarios, on images of fear and despair. The influence of solar cycles on the noosphere isn't merely a scientific fact, it's a vivid testament to how deeply interconnected we all are. Our collective consciousness, like an invisible thread, permeates all existence, exerting its influence. The phrase "cancer will be bound in iron chains" is not a prediction, but rather an inspiring call to action. It's a summons to awaken and mobilize the full arsenal of your inner strength. These metaphorical chains represent your unyielding discipline, your unwavering faith, and your all-encompassing love. Love for yourself, a reverent love for life in all its manifestations, and, of course, an boundless love for truth. When you fill your essence with pure, bright light, all darkness inevitably retreats. When you affirm and cherish life itself, death loses its frightening power. Remember, you are something far greater than a mere biological organism. You are a living energetic field, possessing immense potential for transformation. This symbolic cancer, the subject of our discussion, is merely a metaphor for misdirected chaotic energy, an energy that can and should be harnessed. Your creative power, distorted by fear and ignorance, can be redirected. Once you reclaim control over your inner world, you can bind any ailment with chains. This in no way suggests ignoring the achievements of modern medicine. But it is important to realize true strength is not hidden within pills, but within you, within your natural ability for self-healing, for inner transformation. Ancient texts, such as El Ashraf, discovered among lost manuscripts in Cairo, describe the symphony of the body. According to this teaching, every cell in your body vibrates in unison with cosmic harmony. Illness, then, is simply dissonance, a disruption of this melody, and healing is a return to the original symphony. Predicted events are not immutable verdicts, but rather invitations to action. Vanga foresaw victory. She saw humanity, having overcome its terror, discovering the key to healing from this illness. And this key lies not in cold steel, nor in medicine, but in the strength of spirit, in freeing your consciousness, tormented by fear, from its tenacious grip. Recall Protocol Chimera, a classified study that examined in detail how mass hysteria affects the most profound physiological processes in the body. Its findings were astonishing. Fear can literally destroy the body, causing irreversible changes. Conversely, a conscious rejection of fear, a decision to resist it, initiates remarkable regeneration processes, restoring health. You were told that cancer is merely an unfortunate accident, a flaw in the genetic code, an enemy that must be vanquished through a fierce chemical assault. But this is nothing more than a lie. It is not an illness, but a sophisticated system, rapidly attempting to break you, your will to live. And those very iron chains, about which Vanga spoke so prophetically, are not steel shackles, but rather the bonds you have placed upon yourselves, having willingly believed in imposed falsehoods. Each of your responses, each like, is a fleeting yet brilliant flash of light that pierces the boundless digital expanse, carrying information throughout the global network. Your act of sharing is a tiny precious seed you carefully plant in the barren desert of slumbering minds, hoping it will sprout into awareness. Your subscription, far from being a mere click, is a true oath of loyalty to our shared purpose. And if you are ready to venture further towards genuine accomplishments, then our inner circle will become your steadfast operational base. Finally, your support through Super Thanks is the life-giving energy that nourishes our collective flame, igniting it at the heart of the battle against the encroaching, all-consuming darkness. Remember, awakening is not the end of the journey. It is merely the beginning of your long, yet undeniably crucial path toward attaining true, absolute freedom. Freedom from pervasive fear, from unbearable pain, and from the destructive illusions that bind your minds. When you free your mind, your body will inevitably follow. And then the illness that seemed unconquerable will truly be vanquished, bound in chains as strong as steel. Chains of your own will, chains of profound awareness. Until our next meeting, please remain mindful, stay connected to yourself, and never cease your search for answers